Yes. So good afternoon, everyone. So last class we had written a code to save the file, save the data in the PHP program. In this case, let me run that. Open that file. So in this, it was HT in the C drive XAMPP folder, htdocs folder. Inside htdocs, we had created a project by name college. Inside college, we had written two files, that is student register and student register save in this case. So today's class we will concentrate on how to display the data, that is I'll concentrate on how to search the data and delete the data in this. So these two we will finish first. If possible, we'll continue with the next one, that is how to perform the login operation in this case. So let us run the program. That is, I have started the XAMPP server. In this, you have to start the Apache software in this case. So once it turns green, you can click on localhost slash college slash. Yesterday we had written a code, that is register student register.php. I'll paste that file, and this was a student register.php. So now I need to display these data on the web page in this case. So for that we have to create a one more PHP page in this. So let me create a one more PHP page. I'll call it as search student, or okay, search student dot php. And let me keep this file and close the remaining files in this case. So that is search student file. The data I need to save it, I'll just put it on the desktop. Okay. So in this, write a simple HTML code, call it as search student. Same thing, I'll put it in the h3. I'll give search student in this case. Now to perform the search operation, I need to add one, say the search operation should be performed by typing the name in this case, the name of the student I want to fetch in this, and based on that I should bring the data and display it to the user in this case. So that is how I want to perform the search operation. So for that, what I have to do is very simple. Start with a form tag inside this. Form tag name is equal to frm search. Method always take post, and action property you give it to the same page, because I want the data to be displayed in the same page. Okay, so I'm searching the name of the student in the same page, and the data should be displayed in the same page. So I'm giving the action property should display the data in this page itself. And inside this, so very simple, I need one text box and I need a button in this case. So input type is equal to text, name is equal to, I will say student name, and I will say auto focus, and it is compulsory that name should be entered in this, and give a placeholder. I'll give a placeholder, enter student name, and after this input type is equal to submit, name btn submit, value is equal to search. So one text box to type the name of the student, and another is a submit button. So click on search, it should bring the data in this case. Now after this, the data has to be brought. Now that should be written in a php code in this case. So for that, I'm writing a php tag inside this. Now inside this php tag, the first thing is obviously we have to make a connection to the database. So I told you in the yesterday's class how to build a connection with the database, that is using one built-in function, that is $con arrow query. Sorry, $con is equal to mysqli underscore connect. Okay, so inside this connect, I told you there are four parameters we have to send. The first parameter is localhost, or you can give a value, that is IP address 127.0.0.1, which means the localhost. Okay, so either you can give localhost here, or you can give 127.0.0.1. And after this comma, the second is the name of the username of your database software in this case. So I'm using MySQL database software, so by default username will be root. This is what the name we give when we install the MySQL database software in this case. And after that, the third parameter that I have to give is I have to enter the password in this case. So password also, when we have installed the software, we will be setting the password for the database in this. So same password we have to enter here in this. So let me enter the password I have, that is root at 123. There's a database password for my database in this case. Next, after this, the name of the database where you have created your database in this, so that we can get it from the yesterday's code also, that is probably I've given college. So I can copy paste this and paste it here. So same connectivity, same connection string is created. Now after this, whatever the name he has typed inside this text box, I have to fetch the data based on that. So the first question is, if the data is stored inside this variable or not. That is what important it is. So for that, we have if condition. Inside this, there is one built-in function called as is set, and inside this dollar underscore post, same thing, that is student name. So what this line tells, say very simple, student name is the name of the tag. I'm fetching whatever the data he has entered in that text box using the dollar underscore post function. ESET function will, what it will do is, it will check whether there is any name in that text box or not. If the name, if he has not entered anything, then nothing can be retrieved in this case. So is set function is a function that will retrieve or that will check whether there is a name entered in that text box or not. If the name is not entered, he will not perform the operation. So name must be compulsory entered by the user. Only then it will come and it will display it will come inside the if condition in this case. So that is what we have to do it now in this. That is, I have checked whether is set is true or not. If it is true, come inside this, fetch the name. That is whatever name he has typed. I will call it as student name equal to. And inside this, fetch the data. That is, I have retrieved the student name from that particular text box in this, and it is stored inside the local variable, that is student name. Now after this, now what I have to do is I have to fetch the data from the database. Okay, so for that, the same thing what we did in the yesterday's class, slightly different in this. That is, to fetch the data, I make use of $con arrow query. Inside this, you write the select star from table name. That is select star from. Let me open the database also in this. So open MySQL. You have to type root at 123. That is a data my database software password in this. And then I say use college because I want to perform operation. So first I have to select the database. In the exam also, if they ask you to open the database and show the data, you have to do this. Okay. So use college, that's the name of my database. I say show tables. There is one table, that is TBL student details. I say select star from student details. I get both the student. I don't want both the student. I want to search the data based on the name in this. So slight change in this. The change is we make use of where condition followed by student name. Okay. Now student name equal to, if I give in double quotation Vivek, it will get my data. If in this if I give a name as Sachin, it will bring Sachin data. Any one small spelling change, it will not give you the full data in this case. Okay, so that is how we have to write the query. So let me use the same method here. Select start from TBL student, where student name equal to single quotation whatever he has entered in the text box. So that should be brought. Okay, it will bring that data. Remember, select query will bring the data, and that should be stored inside a variable. So what I will do, I'll declare a one more variable, call it as dollar data. Okay, so data is a dollar data is a variable where I want to store whatever the name that is fetched by the query. In this case, whatever the details of the student is fetched by the query, I will be fetching that from the table in this case, and that data is now stored inside the variable called as data, or you can give any name you want. It's not that it should be given as data. You can also give it as student data. Okay, so I'll give it as student data, which is having the data in this case. Now this data has to be displayed on the web page. Now how to do that? So very simple. Inside this, we make use of while open close dollar row is equal to mysqli underscore fetch underscore array. There is one built-in function again called as mysqli underscore fetch underscore array. So what it will do is it will retrieve the data from this variable, the full row, and it will copy it inside the variable called as row. Okay, so if I have 10 students data, here MySQL fetch underscore array, what it will do is it will fetch each row of the student. One student's full data will be in one row. It will fetch each row and copy that data inside the row. I need to display that to the user. So what I will do inside this is very simple. I will say print open close dollar row. I need to display his name. So what I have to do is whatever the variable name you have given, whatever the column name you have given in the table, copy paste it. The same way, I need to display all the data of the student in this. I'll take so many printf functions. Next, I need to display his mobile number, copy the column name and paste it here. Then again, copy the register number, copy this, paste. Next, I need to copy the project title. Remember, password should never be displayed to the user in this case. So I'll remove that. I'll use the other. Delete it. Okay. At the end of this, that is after the if condition, after everything gets over, it is very important that you have to close the connection. How to close the connection? It is very simple. Con arrow close. Actually, we should even do this in the save code also. Once all the data is retrieved, we are about to finish the operation, the page end, we should close the connection in this case. Okay, so close it. I'll just put it in the previous page also. After the data is inserted, I'll put close because that is very important to close the data. So now I have closed the data in this save, and now you can just go to the web page, create a one more web page here, and here I will call it as search student. And you can see it is asking for the name. I'll enter the search name, click on search. It says error. The error is I have given a wrong table name, that is TBL student details. Okay, so refresh. Now you can see my data is displayed here. So the complete data is displayed in this. If I click Sachin, so I will go with Sachin. You can see such data is displayed here. Is it looking good? Obviously no in this case. How to improve it? Yes, you can do it manually or copy the entire code, give to ChatGPT in this case. So that will help you to fetch the data. So I'll copy this. I'll say improve UI. So he is designing the complete code. The code is completed. Just copy this. He has designed the code in this. Save it and just refresh. And this is how it looks in this case. So it is asking, you enter the name, it will bring the data in this. So now I want Vivek's data, search, it is giving me Vivek's data in this. You want to increase the width? Yes. In that case, bootstrap knowledge is important, like I told you in the last class. Okay, what he has done is he has used the bootstrap using CSS design. So we can increase the width in this case. To increase the width, generally what we do is instead of search card, form hyphen control, we give this, sorry, container hyphen fluid. So we give container hyphen fluid, refresh, we get the data, though the arrangement, because he has not used this color in the background. So one option what we can do is use this, use form hyphen control. This will increase the width in this case. So now I can see all the data in the system. But the problem here is if I type VIP, click on search, it says no record found. But there is a name called as Vivek. But point is you have not entered the full name. So for this reason, it is showing that no record found. So for that, what you have to do is slightly change the query in this case. So what you do here is, instead of writing select star from trivial student where student name equal to this, I will make use of like keyword instead of equal to, and before single quotation put a percentage, after single quotation, before single quotation put a percentage. So by this what happens is, whatever I type, if I type V, if the name, anybody's name has V, it will bring the data in this. So if I put I, both Sachin and Vivek both have I, both name will be displayed in this. So you need not type the full name to fetch the data in this. You can just type the starting few letters in this, and it will bring the data in this case. So this is how we can fetch the data from the database in this case. Okay, so I hope no doubt in this. Okay, so I hope no doubt in this case. So this is how we perform the fetch operation. That is, the data can be retrieved in this case. The next option is, sir, when I search the data, I want to even delete the data in this. That is, probably I want to remove a student from the database in this. So in that case, you can even perform the delete operation. Now, how to perform a delete operation? That is also almost same in this case. That is how we fetch the data, slight change in the query in this case, and it is very easy also. So what we have to do for that? So very simple. The first thing we have to do is we have to add a one more TD in the heading also. I'll put th, empty th, and in the down below tag I will make use of one TD. Inside this TD, I will make use of a form tag, name is equal to frm delete, method is equal to again post, action is equal to same page name, because I'm deleting the data in this system only, I mean in this code only in this case. So for that, I will be making use of action is equal to the same page name. So it will come to the same page in this case. Now inside this, we have to make use of one particular hidden tag in this case, a hidden tag where I will be storing the register number of the student, because register number is something which is unique for each student here. Okay, so what I will do is close the form tag first. Inside this, make use of input type is equal to hidden, name is equal to student register number, value student register number, and then value is equal to display register number what code you had written, that is it was row hyphen register number. So copy the same thing here. In the value property, put a PHP tag in this case and make use of print function or echo function. Okay, echo is a one more function which is used to print the data on the output screen. So what I'm doing is I'm putting that register number inside the hidden property of the student register number variable in this. Inside this, input type is equal to submit, name is delete, delete, value is equal to, you can give delete or you can just give x. Okay, and class equal to btn teacher. I want it to be in the red color in this case, so I'm using this. That's it. This is the code to perform the delete operation. We have to write two more lines in this. I'll tell that. Save this and refresh. So when we do this 137, we missed something there. 37. So action is equal to, this is fine. FRM delete for, okay, name FRM delete tag, everything seems to be correct. FRM 137. Just make a small change. The PHP tag open close is missing some things in this. So I'll arrange that. There are some duplicate division tags that are created, so let me change those. I'll put the code after it is corrected. Yes. There is a problem in this line, so that is why it is showing error. Close. Yes. Here what we have to do is a small change. PHP. The method how the ChatGPT gave the display code is slightly different compared to what I generally use in this. So I'm just putting it back to the format I prefer, that is displaying the data in the PHP tag. Okay. Yes, I got the data. Now this is a delete operation that I want to perform in this case. So once I want to perform the delete operation, I want to perform the delete operation. When I click on this, the ID of that student will be sent to the same page in this case. So what I do is I will be making use of a code to perform the same operation in this case. That is what I am going to do in the PHP code, in the PHP line. Okay, that is, let me go to the coding part and here after the connection. Okay, after the connection, if the search is done, this code will be executed, right? Similarly, if the delete operation is done, in that case I will check a one more variable in this. Okay, now here the variable name will be the student ID, that is student register number what we have given here to perform the delete operation. So I'll paste it here. So simple. If the user has given the student name, in that case it will come to the second if condition, that is in line number 109 in this case. Suppose if the user has entered the student register number, that is if he has clicked on the delete button which is in the where the student register number will be set in this, it will come to the first if condition. So this is how these two if conditions will be working in this case. Okay. What you can do is you can just put it as if else, because either one has to be executed, both can't be executed in this. So any one has to be executed. In that case, we will be making use of this particular option, that is the if else operation in this case. Now inside this same thing, I will fetch the student register number. Copy, I'll say dollar just register number is equal to, put the name of the variable. Okay. Now to perform the operation on the database, same thing, dollar con arrow query. Remember, this function is used to save, delete, display, everything in this case is done using this particular command. Only the query will change. And if you want to delete a particular record, the query is delete from the table name. The table name is tpl student details. Okay, where I need to delete the data based on the register number. So I'll just copy the name, where register number is equal to, again in single quotation, here I have the register number, paste it. Okay, and after this you should tell to the user saying that that record is deleted, and based on this int I is I'll say dollar I is equal to whatever the data is stored. Now I will check if dollar I double equal to 1. Remember, when the data is deleted, it will return 1. Data is not deleted, it will return 0. So what I say is, if I double equal to 1, I want to display a message to the user saying the record is deleted. So the same way how we did in the yesterday's save code, I'll make use of the script tag like this. So copy the same content, paste it here, just change the message, that is student record deleted. So I'm giving a message saying that student record deleted. Okay, and after deleting you come back to the same page, that is search student, so that you can search other student record. Suppose there are cases where the student record will not be deleted also in this case. In such case, what we do is copy the same message, and in the else part paste it and say a record not deleted. Okay, if the record is deleted by somebody else before you deleted, in such case you can tell that the data is not deleted in this case. Okay, so this is what we do in this. So I hope you have understood the delete code in this. Say very simple, fetch the student register number, copy it inside a variable, execute the delete code, and then check if I double equal to 1. If it is 1, display a message to the user saying record is deleted. If it is not, display the message saying that record is not deleted in this case. So let us see it works or not. So in the database now you can see if I use select star from table name, I have two records. Let me search for the record. Say I want to search for Vivek. I got a record in this case. I'll click on this button. It says student record deleted. Click OK. You can see now. I'll search for Vivek now. Click on enter. It says no data found. You can even cross check with the database. Last time I executed select start from student details, it gave me both the records. I executed now. There is only one record in this. So once the data is deleted, you can never fetch that data. So you have to be very careful when you are deleting the record from the database in this case. Okay, so that is very important when you are performing the delete operation. So this is how we perform the delete operation in the database. Only these two lines are important. That is fetching the student register number and writing the delete query in this. Apart from that, in the form tag, that is in the one more TD, we make use of the student register ID in this case, and we make use of the value property, and then it will perform the delete operation in this case. So very simple in this case. Any doubt in performing the delete operation? So one is you have to write one TD with the form tag in this case, and in the above one, that is the here you have to write the uh, operation to fetch the data in this case. So any doubts in this? Okay, so no doubt in this. So let us go to the next part in this. That is, we will be performing the third operation, that is the login operation in this case. Okay, to perform the login operation, obviously username and password, that is register number and password is important. So what we will do is, I will create one more page for it. One more page where I will be taking the register number and the password from the user. And one thing what I can you can generally do to perform the login operation is, you can take the register page code itself, that is whatever you have written in the student register, copy this and create a new page and call this page as login in this case, login dot php. Okay, so save this. So this is my login.php. So let me open the login page how it looks. Say localhost slash college slash login.php. So here I don't want student name, mobile number. I want only register number and password. I don't want these two options also in this case. So for that we have to make some changes here. That is, I will call it as student login. Change the title tag, and you have a label also. Change that. I don't want student name, so delete the entire tag in this case. I don't want mobile number, delete the entire tag with division tag. I need register number, I need password. I don't need project title to perform login operation. I don't need programming language to perform login operation. And here, instead of register, I'll call it as login. So save this, and whatever the changes you have made, this you can see. So I've got a register number, I've got a password, and then a login button in this case. A very simple login page. Now in the action property, now this is very important. In the action property, I will create a function by name check login.php. So in check login.php, I have to check whatever the register number and password he has entered is correct or not. Okay, so let me open one more page, say check login.php. In check login.php, the first thing that you have to do is you have to build a connection to the database. Okay, so that we had done in the previous forms also. I'll just copy that same line to save the time. That is the first connecting page, this one. Copy this, put it inside the check login. Okay, next, fetch the register number and the password that he has typed in the login page in this case. So in the login page we have register number. So what I will do, dollar register number is equal to dollar underscore post register number semicolon. The same way I need to pass the fetch the password. So I'll give the password. So I fetch the register number, I fetch the password in this case. Now this register number and password is correct or not, you have to perform a select operation in the database. Okay, so select operation you already know how to do it. Say dollar data is equal to, because I'll just use the code from there only, because I want you to understand how simple it is. So from the search code, search student, you had written a query to fetch the student data. I'll do the same thing. So what I will do here is, sorry, not this, search code, and use the code here. Okay, so here the condition is different. Select star from TVL student where register number and mobile password must be matched. So I'll take register number like. It don't use like now. It should be a register number proper in this case equal to again put it in single quotation dollar register number and password should also match. So password is equal to single quotation dollar password. If both these conditions are there and you have a data inside this, you can see how the data is fetched here. The same method we do. What I do is I will say I'll use a function that is mysqli underscore num underscore rows. If it is in the student data is greater than zero. Greater than zero means if username and password is correct, it will be greater than zero only. In that case, I need to go to student homepage. Otherwise, if the username and password is wrong, I need to go back to the home page, display the message to the user saying that the username and password is wrong. So for that, again, you make use of what you had done here when you are performing a delete operation. You had used the script in this case. I'll use the same script, paste it here. And I will say invalid login details. So I've given invalid login details, go back to login page. If username and password is correct, in that case, I'll paste the same code. Don't use alert. I will say go to student home.php. Of course, I have not created the student home.php in this case, so I have to create that in this case. So that's it. This is what the login operation is used for. So you can see the login operation is done. Such easy code. I have just copy pasted the things. I have not written any code in this. So easy the PHP has implemented the login operation in this case. Okay. I've just taken the code from other places, used it here to implement in this case. So you can just see the code. If you get any doubt or which you have not understood, you can ask. Okay. So that's it. A very simple. Let us see how this works. The code should work, right? So let us refresh the page. I need to copy the student register number. So I'll get it from the database directly. Password is Sachin. I'll enter a wrong password first. Okay. I'll enter proper mobile number. Password is a wrong password. Click on login. It says invalid login details. Click OK. It comes back to login page. Type the correct mobile number and correct password. Login. It is gone to studenthome.php. Okay. It is showing this error because I have not created the page. Let me create one page in this case, and the chat GPT will do that page for me. This is how you should make use of the tools, the IT tools to simplify your work. I've just created a page. I'll call it as HTML. I'll put student home and here I'll say welcome to student home. Copy this, give it to ChatGPT. Okay, give me intro UI with suitable image. It will create a nice home page in this case. Okay, the code is ready. Copy the content and paste it here. He has given some many operations in this, which we just will see. That is, refresh the page. So you can see he has given options in this, which we don't do it all those. We'll just remove these options. Okay, and you can refresh, you can see the data in this. So he has come to the student home page. The username and password is right. He has come to this particular page in this case. So this is how we perform the login operation in this case. So here I want a menu on the top with a home page and logout option. Yes, you can do that also in this case. So one easy method is you can make use of the ChatGPT to create a menu on the top in this case. So what I will do is I'll copy this same content, give it to him, and I'll say create a menu with create a navigation bar with two menus, home and logout. Okay, that's it. He will create a complete menu for us. We just need to wait for him to finish it. So that is a beauty of using the chat GPT in this move. Work is done by him, but yes, you should know the work in this case. So now, yes, the menu is already designed by him. I just copy pasted. You can see when I click on home, it comes to student home. When I click on logout, it will go to login page in this. I wanted to go to login page. So refresh, I got two menus, home and logout. The same thing can be done even now, whatever the content he has given on the menu. I can copy this menu bar. You can put it in the login page also. Okay. So I'll just put it on the top of the login page. So what happens when I click on logout? It comes to not here. So probably I will, okay, I'll put it here, but its relevant classes must be copied in this case. The relevant classes are in there in the CSS. So these CSS is there. Okay, do one thing. Even here, the login page, I need a menu option. So I'll give that to ChatGPT. Create a menu bar, create a navigation, NAVIGATI navigation bar with two menus, that is login and register. Okay, so just click on this. He will give you the full navigation bar, everything he will prepare. So wait till he does that. Okay, I think he has finished. Copy and paste it in the login page. Save and refresh. You can see a menu on the top. So when I click on login, it comes to the login page. And this, of course, navigation I have to change. Their href has given to wrong page in this case. So I need it for my pages. That is, the page name is login. And for register, it is student register that he has written correctly in this. So let me refresh. So now I click on login. Now I'm in login page. I click on register. It goes to register page. So register page does not have a menu in this case. Now remember, there are two pages who are having same menus. So what I can do is understand this point. What I will do is I will create one folder inside this. Call it as design. Okay. Inside this design, I will create two PHP files in this case. I'll create two PHP files. One PHP file I'll call it as head.php and one more PHP file that is menu.php. Now understand this point. In head.php, whatever the ChatGPT has given, the head content in this, I will copy all these contents. I'll copy all these head contents cut it from here, paste it in head.php. Okay, next, whatever the navigation bar he has given, copy this complete navigation bar, cut from here, put it inside the menu.php. Okay, so what I've done is I've created a folder called as design. Inside that design folder, in this case, i have uh, created I have created two files in this case. In those files, I have in the head.php, the first one, I copy the content from the head.txt head tag in this case, and in the mid in the second one, that is in the menu.php, I have taken the data from the navigation bar. So whatever is there in the navigation bar, I copy that content, I put it inside the second one, that is mid in this case. So very simple code in this case. Now in my login page, I will write one line to include that file. How to write? Very simple. Write a PHP tag inside this, include inside this design folder slash head.php. Now this include function is like writing hash include stdio.h. You will have written that in the C language in this case. So like that only I have written here, that is hash include. Sorry, instead of hash include, I have used include function in this case, and in that include function, I'm importing the with head.php, and the same way copy this line after the body tag, make use of menu.php. Simple. Now in the login page, I get that option, same thing I will put it inside, same code I'll pick. Okay, same code I'll take it and paste it in register.php. In the register.php, remove all these contents. Okay, anyway, you keep it, no problem. So in the head.php, I have to write head tag, I have to write head.php. In the menu tag, I have to use menu.php. Refresh the page in this. I got a menu on the top. So now I can easily navigate from one page to another page. So this is how we can create a menu pages in the application in this case. And we can navigate those data from one page to another page. Now once the student registered or user registers, he can even perform the search operation. There he can search and he can delete the students also in this case. So that is also can be done just by adding a one more menu to the web page in this case. So this is how we perform the other operations in this case. So a very simple head mid concept using the design concept in this. In design, I have used one head tag where all the CSS will be copied, one menu tag where I'll put all the menus that I want in this case, and that is imported in your files. That is, it is imported in your login page, and it is imported in your register page, and thus we can navigate from one page to another page. So once I log in, that is, I'll enter the mobile number, that is 987654321. Password is Sachin. He goes to the home page of the student. He has a separate menu page in this case. So in his menu, the menus can be different. Okay, so he can have an option where he can search a student. Sir, I want to have an option to search a student. Very simple. In the home, you have a menu page. In that, you add one more menu, it will create a one more page of this. So like this, you can create a page and you can navigate from one page to another page. So this is how we perform all the basic operations. Now we have finished four operations in this case. We have inserted the data, we have deleted the data, we have selected fetch the data, and we have performed the login operation. And using this concept of CSS and design, we make use of the designing of the application in this case. Okay. Any doubts in this? If you know these operations, then it is more than sufficient to write the application in this case. All the other things will be just storage of data and retrieval of the data in this. So this is how we perform those operations in this case. Okay. Any doubts you have, you can ask. Okay. I'll upload both the records of yesterday's class and